Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another match for ALTTPR. We're going to be watching this Freddeh versus Solski Game 3 for their group. It's the losers bracket. The winner moves on to face Roach 80. One second. Roach 788. The loser will be out of the tournament. Looks like we're on our way. Sanctuary and Link's House both not really anything worthwhile at this point in time. Interesting move by Solski going to Eastern area. I've not seen people go out this direction this early in the game that much. Whereas Freddeh seems to be going a relatively standard route of south, gonna do race game and then up to the Kakariko village.
Wait, this is an early Eastern play? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've not seen this by a lot of people that often.
I'll take it. I mean, Solski is is a pretty solid runner here, so very nice.
Unfortunately, he doesn't really find much. And also, welcome, Dr. Bob.
Hi.
Straight off your race from Nenban.
I'm just getting right in there. I'm going to pull up the chat here in a second. I might have to hit the restroom before I keep going, but I'll be right back.
Not a problem. So for anyone interested, the settings for this race is map compass shuffle. Ooh, Freddeh with flippers in the tavern. So it's map compass shuffle and also, I believe, fast Ganon. So it should be a little bit more friendly for them not having to climb GT. And Fire Rod and Chicken Hut. Not too useful right now, but pretty good items to get. Yeah, for the person who asked in chat, fast Ganon is basically the portal to drop down for Ganon is already open. They just need to meet the crystal requirements, which is 7, and then they don't have to climb GT. GT is still open at 7, but because it's 7 to also hurt Ganon, they don't need it. And early Lantern and Hammer and Flute. Flute is good once you're in Kakariko. To answer the question in chat for 7-7, 7-7 means 7 crystals to open Ganon's tower, 7 crystals to hurt Ganon. If it was 6-6, it would be 6 crystals to open Ganon's tower, 6 crystals to hurt Ganon. You can have any combination from 0 to 7 for that, for either number.
All right, so you said map and compass shuffle and then
fast Ganon.
Fast Ganon, right. So meaning the dungeons will probably have just a little bit more value to them in general.
Well, yeah, each dungeon now has 2 extra items in the pool because map and compass are shuffled. And Kakariko, if you haven't noticed, is pretty stacked. Lantern, flippers, flute, fire rod, hammer.
Gross. And it looks like we are getting our flute activation. So everybody say hello to the swag duck. All right, looks like Freddie's heading north now. Right, because he came in from the south after farming some bombs. So both runners really kind of doing some slightly different routes.
Yeah, Solski came from the south, from the north after his Eastern Palace play, so we know nothing's really here for Freddeh.
So yeah, the fire rod as well. That is pretty sick. Especially after the last race I was commentating where we spent literally forever looking for that fire rod.
Yeah, it's a nice set of items to start off with.
So, another thing with the map and compass shuffle, though, is you get a lot more junk shuffled into the normal pool. And so, kind of like with Key Sanity, it's like Key Sanity Light, essentially. You might expect to see runners make a Houlihan play or something like that to get more money, because the money is going to be a little more sparse.
That's a fair play, especially since they have flippers. They can get up there and get all the items as long as they have the money for it.
Oh, wait. You can't do the Houlihan play right now because you have the flippers and you don't have the hammer or the glove.
Yeah, you need the glove first.
Ugh. Gross.
But once they get the glove, it's not a bad play.
Yeah. Oftentimes when I play Key Sanity or something close to it, my first play is to do the Houlihan route.
Yeah, that would have been better to do, but it is what it is. They'll see if they can get some money along the way and hopefully be able to get up to Zora.
Now, the map and compass shuffle, does that come with not knowing where the crystals and pendants are?
That is correct. So we'll not get a map check until they start picking up some more maps. Or until they actually start clearing some of the dungeons. Which I think we've only seen one map so far, and that was a Dark World map too.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw the one for Ice Palace, I believe, in the well. All right.
Good
Lord, there's a lot of money in here. Okay. So much for that Houlihan play. At least you're getting all the money you can stand to go do Zora.
Yeah, 2 300s right off the bat. That's our Zora money right now. I have a feeling they're going to make their way up there at some point soon.
So yeah, in this particular setting, with the way the maps and compasses are set up, the map is what will tell you what crystal or pendant is at the dungeon. So you'd have to have that before you know what is at the dungeon on the map.
And the compass isn't really too useful, but it does tell you once you pick it up how many items you've picked out from the dungeon.
Yeah. It can be a little confusing because in the Ocarina of Time randomizer, it's the compass that does that. So that does the map thing. It's weird.
And Solski with another 300s. I think they're stacked for money now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Looks like Freddie didn't really find much through Hobo, so now he's going to do Waterfall Cave and then Zora area. Solski's on his way up to Hobo. I'm pretty sure no one's going to get that bug net.
Yeah. Sad day for fans of the Swagnet. Alright, we found the Ether Medallion in the Waterfall Cave, which of course, the Ether Medallion, or the Waterfall Cave is totally in logic because of those flippers.
It'll be interesting to see if that's actually needed. Nothing on the ledge that's of worthwhile, though. So what's our scam today?
Well, we will see, won't we? Yeah, Castle Tower would still have to be keys. Sword. All right. Speaking
Not
of Castle Tower.
Yeah, this is a good play. Good. Get down to the tower, to the basement through escape. You've got the lamp. Chances are you might get the key to continue on to the back as well.
All right. Seems reasonable. Of course, the dark cross there again in logic due to the lamp and the fire rod. Let's be fair, both of those would put it in logic, given these settings.
But knowing these runners, even if they didn't have that, I'm pretty sure they might make them play to it.
They'd
Master
certainly
Sword.
be capable. Oh boy! Speaking of Castle Tower,
Didn't you just come off of a Naga seed?
I sure did. That even had the moon pearl sitting on the pyramid. So if we see another one of those, I'm officially cursed.
So we'll be able to tell pretty soon the chances of this. If Solski doesn't find anything in Agina's cave, the last chances are Eastern Palace or this escape, as well as Spectacle Rock Cave.
So first chest escape is a piece of heart. Solski to Ginan's cave for a big 20.
Yeah, after getting all these items right off the bat, looks like it's starting to dry up a little bit. Hopefully they'll be able to find enough items so that they don't have to do Ega.
Okay, we get it. We have money. We get it.
So that's 4 300s that we found so far?
Yeah, there's only, what, 5?
I think so. Well, at least we know that they're good for Kiki, and then if they ever need to buy potions.
Yeah, so much for sparse money like I was talking about earlier. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. That's really most of the time. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Freddie took a little too much damage there.
Deciding to not go back quite yet and just do Dark Cross is a good play. If he finds everything but the map along this way, then he knows what's at least in...
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, map compass shuffle, so there is probably still a good item down there.
Yeah, well, one thing we know for sure is that the small key can't actually be in Zelda's cell. So if you're intended to go back this way, this will be a small key.
And with nothing up in the mountain, this points to this escape area, which only has a compass, or Eastern Palace, or it is an Aga play.
I mean, it feels like Aga to me, but we won't know for sure. Depends on what's in Eastern here. So basically, out of Eastern, you're either expecting to see the Moon Pearl, which makes you want to go to Aga, or say the Hook Shot, which would take you to East Death Mountain. Those are the most likely occurrences, I would think.
I'm hoping for Hookshot. Let's go on the mountain and let's actually clear some dungeons. Either way, if it is an Aga place, Solski will eventually have to go back to the uncle's chest to be able to get his Master Sword.
Yeah, Hammer on its own is actually a pretty low amount of checks. Like, yeah, there's very little it unlocks in the Light World by itself. Like if you had powder, it would unlock magic bat. But
Not
yeah, there's
taking
like
any chances, just
not
fire
much.
rod the ball and chain guy for just a heart piece.
Yep, just a heart piece.
So it's either Eastern or Ega.
Yeah, mirror would also be a thing to get to Paradox Cave. Now that I think about it.
I think this confirms that Ega is needed. They don't have enough checks unless this is a hook shot to be able to do anything more.
Right. Well, I think the other possibility, other than hookshot or mirror to get to Paradox Cave, you could theoretically have book
To get into
to get
desert
into
and
desert.
checking more.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty low amount of items in there. One guaranteed.
Okay, what am I missing?
But with half magic, I believe that's the end of the chain. I think we've seen everything between both runners.
Are we getting another Moon Pearl pedestal seed? Am I gonna have to just quit? Or not pedestal. Pyramid.
Pyramid. If not, as you said from last race, if not Moon Pearl, then some item leading to Moon Pearl.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be actual Pearl. We discussed this last time, but it turned out to be actual Pearl.
Ooh, and we see Desert Palace is the green pendant from Sahashala. So that's not somewhere they're going to want to really go to.
So yeah, people making an interesting point that you could steal a key for the back, which would actually be kind of interesting because you could get back there and then you're also basically guaranteed to get the key out of there or along the way, so you wouldn't lose anything. That's actually reasonable now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's an interesting play if you want to just check for items.
But you'd have to steal the next key or else he'd be missing out on it.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that play, though.
Yep, doesn't look like it.
No, so he'll get his piece of heart. Freddeh will soon run out of items in Eastern. And then we'll see who's actually taking the early advantage by whoever goes to Ega first.
Alright, Solski heading to Dark Cross. No surprises there. Gonna get a good old-fashioned compass and then probably take another Death Warp, I would imagine.
Seems like a good play. I'm pretty sure he's the one that's checked most of everything else. So he has probably in his mind this is an Ega seed.
Yeah, the logic is that's actually the reason that you can't have the small key in those two chests down there in Zelda's cell or before it. It's because it could otherwise soft lock you if you stole the key.
Yep, Death Warp just to come back to here, and he's now going to go climb up Ega.
Alright, so Solski with what looks to be about, I would say, a minute worth of lead here. Maybe a little more, because Freddie's going to be doing something different. Or maybe he's just fluting to 4.
No, he didn't check Agina's cave, so he's checking the desert area.
Oh, yeah. That's unfortunate.
I think this is his last check anyways, so I would have thought maybe he would have had enough knowledge to know this couldn't really be much worthwhile. But I think every runner holds out hope that they don't have to do Ega, so they'll check everything else first.
Yeah, he's hoping for like Hookshot or Mirror, just so he can go to, East Death Mountain.
Solski making quick work with these guards with the fire rod. Just wanting to get up the tower as fast as possible. And especially with half magic, why not? So what are we thinking? Is it actual Moon Pearl or is it something else?
Well, I mean, knowing me, it has to be actual Moon Pearl, but probably not. It wouldn't happen twice in a row, would it?
It might. And if it is
it's
Moon
not
Pearl,
outside the realm of possibility.
and if it is Moon Pearl, if I'm correct, they can only go to Palace of Darkness and down to Harp Cave and do the south route.
Yeah.
Let's hope Egg is nice to these runners and only giving 0 to 1 blue balls. Make it as quick as possible.
Oh, there's the one. And down it goes. All right, Solski. What do we... Mirror on the pyramid this time.
It's not even the Moon Pearl. Interesting.
All right, so more than likely we are looking at a Death Mountain play. You can do Tower of Hera and mirror bonking there on the portal.
This did open up a lot of items for them, though. like you said, the Tower of Hera, then they can go to the east side, Paradox Cave, Spiral Cave.
And of course, if you pull some gloves, you can also check some more stuff here in Dark Death Mountain. But you'd have to get both gloves up here, so that'd be fun.
Not out of the realm of possibility, but we'll see what they actually pull out.
All right, heading into the Tower of Hera for Solski. First item is a big key. And the second chest is a map of Skull Woods. Now remember, because of map and compass shuffle, there could very well be, up to 4 non-dungeon items in Tower of Hera here.
Yep, that's correct. I think they're at this point they're hoping also that the small key is locking itself.
Yeah, you basically always hope for that.
Well, especially after the Aga, they don't want to do any more time waste like that.
Nope. There's the small key.
So then the next hope is that this is actually going to be a crystal dungeon, so that their clear is not going to be put to waste.
Yeah, it's basically like half key sanity. That's about right.
And we did get a map check on Freddie's side. Pod, Misery Mire, and I believe it was Swamp Palace were all ice crystals. Crystals. No, according to the tracker, it was Ice Palace, but they were all regular crystals.
Non-red crystals. And a piece of heart on Moldorm with a red pendant acquired from Tower of Hera. So that's knowledge of 2 pendants out of 3.
And he's going back in to get the basement. Good call. Get it out of the way so you don't have to come back.
Yeah, the seed did give you both ways of activating this, so of spawning the chest, so maybe you do it. I don't know.
It's also a good time to sort of think, just to sort of figure out if you get a certain item up here, what's going to be your next plan. And Tara, however, was a complete waste of time.
Yep. I mean, unless something terrible happens.
We don't wish for that.
We won't curse everybody any more than that.
Nothing worthwhile on floating island. And the long, slow walk through Spiral Cave.
The spiral trek, of course, imitating life in a downward spiral toward oblivion.
So 7 more items to get some kind of progression. So what's the progression going to be at this point? Moon Pearl?
I would imagine.
Prolonging the suspense as much as possible.
Glove! Okay. Back of escape.
This item chain, though.
I was like, what in the world does that lead to? Right, back of escape.
The seed is not playing nice for game 3.
Cane and Pearl in the back of escape. So, you know that play that somebody talked about doing stealing the key? That would have been pretty cool.
It would have been yes. But at least now with that glove and the Moon Pearl, they have full access to most of Dark World, so they can check a lot of items now. Looks like Solski's going to start with Village of Outcasts, probably even go up to Skullwoods.
Oof, and Freddeh takes a death on East Death Mountain. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a game-breaking play to go to the back of escape. You would have still had to go to Aga. You would have still needed to go get the gloves. Though you might have been able to pick up other gloves.
And we saw Skullwoods is actually another crystal, regular crystal.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually a better play. He has the Fire Rod. He can completely clear out Skullwoods. Might as well get it done while you're here.
Yeah. You would have been able to go to Pod and also Hype Cave and South Chain after Aga there. But yeah, nobody's really going to do that. Alright, that is a small key for Solski, so he's going to head left.
Freddeh is not having any luck.
And a hook shot! Well, there's full access to Swamp Palace.
Do you really want to do it this early, though?
I mean, I don't want to do Swamp Palace at all if I can help it.
Hookshot's nice, but now we get a fetch quest.
Mm-hmm. So mushroom acquired. Also the Cane of Samaria. So good old-fashioned fake powder is on the table.
That's actually not a bad play. with Mirror, you can easily get it along your way when you're doing Thieves Town area. If only he gets the gloves before then as well, then he can do Blacksmith Chain, or at least start it.
For a second there, it sounded like you said Blocksmith Chain, and now I'm just like, now I'm thinking about Bitcoin. Anyway, Freddie's gonna get his Moon Pearl and his cane. It's gonna be great.
And see if he does the same play, or if he does a different play, maybe over to Hype Cave area.
Wow, Solski got a reverse torch glitch there in the torch room.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't think I've seen that before.
It didn't show up.
This is good. A little bit of divergence. Freddie's going to do Hype Cave.
Yeah, he lit the torch with the lamp, but it didn't show up because it lit at the exact same time as the other torch.
Mothula gives us her first bottle with a fairy in it.
Ah, and that means that Solski can check the Sick Kid when he heads down into Village of Outcasts as well, with some mirror action.
Yep,
now,
nice
I
chant played.
I think this is a small key? Maybe I'm miscounting?
We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
Looks like Freddie's actually going to tell us what the 5-6 is. Swamp and Turtle Rock.
Alright, Ice Rod Hunt is a go. Oh, and Solski not even bothering with the fake powder today.
And it doesn't pay off. Well, it pays, but not in terms of a good item. So that's interesting.
Okay. Good.
I was gonna basically, it's interesting that he's deciding to come here instead of checking out Village of Outcast.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
maybe he's thinking he could try to get the mitts. He's also thinking, okay, I have the hook shot. My opponent probably doesn't, so that's a potential advantage if I go into Swamp.
That's fair. We did see a map check on Freddie's side. Eastern Palace was the last pendant, so all Crystal Dark World, all pendant Light World.
Well, there you go. Apparently, world's fastest digging game as well.
Yeah, it looks like since he's confirmed Swamp Palace as a crystal, he might be going here first. Clear out as many items as possible from here.
Yep. And you never know, Swamp Palace might actually have something good. I do feel like in this particular mode, you probably just don't skip left side. Because there is no map and compass to get in your way there.
Yep, with the 2 extra items, that's a good play. Just do the full clear. There's a lot of items here. Freddeh will get his hookshot soon too, because he's at Hero and Swamp Palace. Going to the back first, so he'll clear Mothula before he gets his hookshot, but it's a good play.
Yeah, so map compass shuffle is basically just like Key Sanity, except the keys are still in the dungeons. So that means there's a potential extra 2 items per dungeon. And 1 extra in Hyrule Castle.
And because Solski has the compass for Swamp Palace, we get the nice handy tracker at the top to see how many items he's picked up to how many he has left. So we only need possible medallion, ice rod, and bow, it looks like.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. There's a very small set of go mode items now.
I forgot also mitts, but
Who needs mids?
not
Everybody.
everybody does. The good thing is without those mitts, there's a lot of dungeons that are locked out.
Alright, so Solski, as expected, is going to go to left side swamp. Now, in your normal open modes, I tend to see that swamp has less value than the 6 items you would think. It's less value than you'd expect given the 6 items it has. But in Key Sanity, it's roughly equal to the 10 items you'd expect it to have. I don't know anything about map and compass shuffle because I haven't really done the analysis, but we will see.
That's a fair assessment. I've seen Swamp Palace have a pretty good item layout in the map compass shuffles races I've seen recently. Let's hope this one plays nice and gives them something.
Left side is a bust.
Solski has to be a bit careful. Half a heart left. Oh wait, no, he has the fairy in the bottle.
Yeah,
he should be
fairy
fine.
in the bottle.
He just doesn't want to use it this early, I don't think.
Yeah, ideally you'd want to get there without taking damage. Sometimes it just happens.
So at this point, I think he might be hoping that the big key is locked in its own chest. I don't think he wants to come back here.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to find the big key on Argus. That's the worst. Like if I found the big key in the like the flooded room, I might come back and grab the big chest, but
to have to come back for one item if it was on the boss.
yeah, it's garbage.
But we get our sick kid check now, though. He just gave us his allowance.
Alright, waterfall chest is bombs. So it's either on Argus or in the big chest. Solski using some pots to his advantage and also picking up the hearts underneath. Because as we stated before, doesn't really want to lose that fairy if he can help it.
Blue mail in the chess game, not too bad. So far, Solski didn't really skip out on much in Village of Outcast.
Yeah, I mean, I do like me some blue mail. Don't get me wrong. And Argus goes down without losing the fairy. Piece of heart, dodging the bullet on the big key.
So nothing much in Swamp, but it was a crystal. There was a lot of items. It was a pretty good play to come here.
Yeah. But, as tends to be the case, Swamp, garbage. Like you do.
Halfway through Thieves Town, not looking much better yet.
So, do we know who selected which of the two toggles?
I don't offhand know.
I think maybe somebody in chat might know. We'll find out.
I do see Map Compass Shuffle was their game too, so whoever won last time ended up, the other person picked up the fast scan on top of it.
All right. Seems reasonable. All right, Solski doing a flute. And where are we headed this time? All right, doing the sick kid check. So we're gonna see Solski doing some of the same stuff that Fred is doing.
Yep, looks like he's gonna go Darkhold from here. Probably coming back into Thieves Town, Village of Outcast as well.
Yeah, I imagine Freddeh will probably finish this up by heading towards Swamp Palace, so it'll be basically a wash when we're done here. Might see a graveyard ledge check. Don't think we've seen that yet.
We haven't. They basically went to Skull Woods and then away from there. It's not a bad time to do it. When are you going to be up in this area again?
Yeah, but Solski doesn't seem to have anything to do with that. At least we're going to get the blue mail. Yeah. Yeah, actually that kind of does make sense, because Solski's already done, like, the south route, so he could do Thieves Town and then head north to Graveyard Ledge, etc.
And absolutely nothing in Thieves Town as well.
Well, there we go.
So at this point, it has to either be Graveyard Ledge, Catfish, or in Pod.
Yep. And wouldn't be surprised to see any of that happen, to be honest. So if I were Solski, what I would do here, finish Thieves Town, head north to Graveyard Ledge, head to Catfish, along the way buy a potion.
That would mean giving
then,
up his fairy.
Yeah. But I mean, it would also mean you get to check those 2 chests on the right side of Pod, so... Unless he wants to mimic clip.
That's true. But I guess it depends on what he thinks progression might be. Whether he wants to keep within logic as much as possible for the last few items or not.
Yeah. Could have another seed with Catfish having progression. That would also be a thing I just saw.
So this seed so far seems pretty linear. There's not much divergence. They're all going to be focused into the pod area.
Yeah, it's a very depth first seed. You get, like, opens up a thing, opens up a bunch of things, but really only one of them is progression. So you just keep going down that line. I will say one of the things, doing a little bit of analysis on the fill algorithm, I think in general, the game tends to reward you for following things you just found rather than staying open. It's not a foolproof method, but it tends to be more often than not. Or at least disproportionately than what you would think if it just randomly generated every possible seed. Equally likely.
So far, though, they've been doing that. They haven't found anything.
Mm-hmm. Sure, there's plenty of accounting for taste. There's there's salty credits and sweet debits. Anyway, I'm done.
So since it looks like Solski's going to be done his dungeon first, do you think he actually will go north, get those 2 checks out of the way? Because they're otherwise pretty orphaned until he has no reason to go up in that area otherwise.
Yeah, I do feel like Graveyard Ledge Catfish is a pretty solid play at this point, especially because you're heading to Pod anyway, and it's basically along the way. Although you could definitely get to Pod faster by mirroring and fluting.
I guess it's just a case where if you're wrong, to get back up into that area, it will take a while.
I mean, we're always looking for the godforsaken ice rod. Let's just put it that way. Solski doing hammer strats for no reason.
He wants to have fun.
Exactly. Yeah, so for those of you just joining us, we will require all 7 crystals to beat the seed, but we don't require Ganon's Tower because it's a fast Ganon seed. And of course, we have maps and compasses shuffled possibly outside the dungeons. So additional dungeon value is a go.
Looks like he's doing a combination of what you thought. He is going to buy the potion, but he's just going to go straight to pod, looks like.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? After you finish pod, if you really still want to check Catfish and Graveyard Ledge, you can like just save and quit, and you'll be on the pyramid. And so that's not that bad.
Yeah, I forgot that because the Aga play, they'll save and quit from the dark will bring them up to the pyramid. But considering this is the more item dense location, it's not a terrible play. If he finds some progression of some kind here, that'll lead him somewhere else. Get him to actually do stuff.
All right, first chest in pod. You know, the odds makers say small key, but you never know. It is. So not immediately bow locked.
But it looks like he's going to go to that side first anyways.
Yeah, I mean, he set up that potion for a reason anyway.
And with the mirror, it doesn't take that long to get back to the start of the dungeon. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So all you got to do to unlock that camera is just use the potion while you are moving left, and the screen is scrolling. For anybody who hasn't done that before.
It's pretty free once you've done it.
Yeah. Then you just hold the wall in the next room, and you're making sure to hug the wall as you come in so you don't realign the camera. Yeah, you hold the right wall in the left next room and just move. So we see a single small key on the right-hand side, which, if I'm not mistaken, does mean that the back section is also in logic without the bow, but not the dark maze. Well, maybe the dark maze. Yeah, actually, I think about it. Maybe. We'll see. So all those chests up front were guaranteed to be small keys at that point. Well, no. There's still one chest that might be... This next chest could be something that's not a small key.
Yeah, from my understanding of the six chests of this front, 4 have to be small keys at least.
Yep. And we've got a big key instead of a small one. Yeah. I think Dark Mage is technically in logic because you can't go to the door that would normally mess you up without the bow.
Freddie doing the fake power though.
Alright, let's see what we get. Wow. Ice Rod! Found
Nice.
in the basement there of Pod.
It's nice to find, but it's not immediate progression.
I think this had to be a small key for sure. Yeah.
Three more chests for progression to be in this dungeon.
Yeah, you could totally have a bow in here, actually. Well, there's a replacement potion.
This seed. So catfish or graveyard ledge, I think, are the only two.
Yeah, looks like it. And Solski is not even going to save and quit, just going to walk right out. Oh, never mind. Changing his mind. Now he's going to save and quit. Maybe he realized he'd be on the pyramid. It might be a little closer.
So I think it's going to be Mitts is probably going to be the next thing. That opens up the most amount of progress. But would only give the boss for Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness.
Yeah. You could have, like, Boots to give you King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks, or Book to give you Desert. But yeah, Mitts is by far the most likely progression item.
We also get to see what's on Bumper Ledge. Just another bottle.
I like my women like I like my bottles. Filled up with bees! Okay, I'm done.
So what's nice is we get both checks at the same time, basically.
There's the Titan's Myth sitting on Senior Catfish.
That opened up quite a bit. Ice Palace, Misery Mire, Turtle Rock. As long as they have a medallion for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. But it looks like Solski's going to come up here to check that, as well as do Hookshot, Cave, and Super Bunny. Nice amount of items.
Plenty of items, for sure. Graveyard Ledge, just a piece of heart, as is Vanilla. But with the fact that Freddy's heading to Graveyard Ledge, I kind of expect him to also check Catfish, so this will probably be a good play for him.
Yeah, it's understandable. He'll see the mids. At that point, he'll probably go somewhere else. He's probably not going to continue to pod.
Solski slightly missing that block push there. Again, interestingly deciding to come in from the bottom and not open the Turtle Rock portal, but that's neither here nor there. Because, I mean, if we've got the medallion, Turtle Rock is available.
If they have the medallion, it's fully clearable. Freddie missed the initial throw.
Boots in Hookshot Cave.
Now they can start running once they don't have many more items left to go.
And we do have the required medallion for Turtle Rock. How about Meyer? We're going to get that as well. What do we have?
Quake.
Quake. So we need to find Quake.
So we need that. We know at least the items we need for go mode: Quake and bow. And for once, it's not under the welcome mat. Looks like Freddy's gonna start dipping.
Whoa!
Oh, there's our first bow. But Freddy's gonna dip Desert Palace. Is he stealing the key?
Quite possibly. I mean, it makes it where you can definitely go to the right side and then mirror back if you need to.
I think I've seen this only once in a race.
Oof. And Solski takes a death on the way to the right side Turtle Rock chests. Gonna have to do that room again. Freddy gets the other key.
Turns out it wasn't needed.
I like how Unfit is being Yoda today in the chat. His name's G Practice, you must.
I think Freddy's hoping for something good here. Otherwise, this is not going to pay out.
Bombos. That's not Quake.
That is indeed not Quake.
That is my professional analysis of the situation. Bombos officially not Quake.
And it doesn't even need it for Ice Palace either, because he already has the Fire Rod.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Solski heading through the rest of Turtle Rock. I imagine, since we're still looking for Quake, we do go ahead and check the vanilla big key chest here.
I mean, he doesn't know he's looking for Quake.
Right. But he knows he might be looking for a medallion.
Yep, that's fair. Key for a key, though.
So we'll probably see Mimic Cave and then the big chest and so on and so forth.
So, Desert Palace itself had nothing. Hopefully, Green Pendant will pay off for Freddie. But he's immediately going into ice. Dungeon he knows he has to clear. Good play.
Yep.
I think that's our last 300.
A book in the big chest of Turtle Rock, meaning we could also check that Ether tablet and Bombo's tablet later if we so desire, and a shovel in ice. So fetch quests for days, folks. And silver arrows, okay, in pod.
So,
I mean, not pod, Turtle Rock words.
both bows in Turtle Rock. That's an interesting place for them.
Turtle of Darkness, yeah, that's correct. Good old Todd. And now I'm thinking of BoJack Horseman. Anyway.
I'm thinking that was a good place to find the book, though. This is the last basic check on the dungeon. On the mountain. So once he's done here, he can just go over, check the tablet, and never have to come up to the mountain again.
Yeah, you really didn't want to have to check that without, or you didn't want to find the book later and have to come back up the mountain again for one check.
Maybe even combine it with Spike Cave to fully clear the mountain.
Yeah, very well could do that. Did just get the Cane of Brian to put that in logic. I don't believe Spike Cave has been checked, no. Yeah, I suppose one of the upsides with this map and compass thing is that in the vast majority of dungeons, the boss is guaranteed to have an item of some kind. So at least you've got, that assurance that it's going to happen. Oh, Solski just peacing right the heck out. Has no interest in Ether Tablet or anything of the sort.
Go to Palace of Darkness, finished off with his newly acquired bow. Nope, going to Mire to check this out.
Yeah. He's got to check this medallion.
That's a fair play. If it was either, he would be in go mode. He'll see it's not.
He's like, well, yeah, that was a good call. You really got to know for sure.
I guess the main question now is whether he continues with crystal dungeons to clear them out, or if he thinks it's independent and does desert while he's in the area.
Who knows? Checking the checkerboard cave, of course. Just a compass. Freddeh is about to finish off Ice Palace.
I don't recall seeing anything of value here.
Yeah, if we'd have found Quake, chat would have gone nuts. Yeah, checking pedestal would be a reasonable play fairly soon if you're going to start diving pendant dungeons. Because basically, if you check pedestal and it is Quake, that's just basically instant go mode.
But if it's not Quake, you still might have to defeat the bosses.
Oh, no!
It's an Ice Palace.
Ice Palace. Ice Palace is the thing. So it's map compass shuffle with fast Ganon, but not 6 out of 6. 7.
So Solski needs to get his way down to Ice Palace. Freddeh needs to get up to Turtle Rock to get his bows before going to Pod for his Ice Rod.
Alright, so Freddeh will be heading into Mire to finish that off.
Which isn't a bad play. Like you said earlier, go for locations where the sea just gave you the item. So he just got Quake, he knows he can go into Mire because of it. Come in here to clear out.
Alright, so Solski heading to Pod now, as that is a required dungeon. That train decided to take 17 years to go by, so couldn't say anything, but yeah, Solski finishing off Pod. He could elect to finish Eastern as well, because there's definitely an item on the bus, but we know it's not the one he wants.
But it's also not a terrible play. I mean, it doesn't take long to get to Armos Knights and defeat them, especially with silvers. Just to make sure that you don't need it.
Yeah, so as chat was pointing out, in this particular seed, you either have to double dip Pod or you have to double dip Turtle Rock. Which is kind of annoying. You need the Quake Medallion to open Misery Mire, which we know is on Cold Stare. So if Solski just follows his crystal dungeons, he will be able to get into go mode pretty soon.
Which I think is what he'll probably do. He knows he can complete it. I don't think he wants to spend a lot of time doing pendant dungeons. I think he only did desert because he was already in the area.
Yeah. Alright, Solski switching to silver arrows for a single shot at Helmasaur's head. And 5 rupees for Helmasaur as Solski picks up his 5th crystal.
Tempered sword for Freddeh in the cutscene chest. And good Solski is going to Ice Palace. He'll get his quick medallion pretty soon. So depending on the route Solski takes in Misery Mire, he may not get that tempered sword.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely, but you never know. Alright, Solski finds the shovel.
Which at this point we know is not going to really do anything.
Yep. Now, the most galaxy brain of plays here would be just go straight to Cold Stare, but I don't think anybody's really going to do that.
Not in Ice Palace. In any other dungeon, maybe. But
Yeah, because
how long it takes to get back to the items.
down Ice Palace is just the worst. I mean, maybe it's not the worst. The worst would be like having to go back up GT or something, but we don't even have to do that in this seed, so there's that.
Nope, once he gets his Quake medallion, he'll go to Mire, finish off Mire, then he just needs to get to the pyramid, drop down and kill Ganon.
I mean, you would go upon finding 2 items if it weren't map compass shuffle, I think. Also, there's just a small key there, so... moot point, but yeah.
Freddeh taking a lightning bolt to the face, 1 heart left.
Alright, Freddeh taking his time, making sure that Vitreous doesn't get anywhere near him. And that finishes off Misery Mire for Freddeh. He just has to get up to Turtle Rock to get the bows.
So which one is he going to double dip?
for his sake it's Pod, because double dipping Turtle Rock is the worst.
I guess it depends whether he gets bow and just immediately leaves to finish pod. Because the first bow was right at the entrance, so that's not too bad.
That was some neat sliding Solski was doing. Not sure how that happened, but I'll take it.
But no, he's going to pod. He'll get his ice rod relatively soon. It was in the back dark U-shaped room.
Yep. Alright, Solski getting the second to last item in ice. Everything is gathered, so now just heading to Cold Stare, where he will find that Quake Medallion and get himself into go mode.
We saw 3 bombs on Sahasrahla, so nothing even worthwhile there.
Ice Rod was in the rupee basement of Pod. On the left side, if you must know.
Be careful, Solski.
Using the green potion to get himself some fire rod ammo. Finds Quake, and that is go mode for Solski at 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Gonna immediately flute to 6. Go to Misery Mire. We'll see how the routing he takes to get to that big key. I'm curious to see what kind of routing this will take for when the big key is in that location.
Alright, Solski going for the spike chest first. Small key there. Powder. I didn't even see the powder last time.
Yeah, I missed that as well.
Not really going to do our runners much good. Solski headed for left side. Big 20, and Solski will be not heading for the cutscene room. You gotta stop faking me out like that.
Freddeh getting his ice rod and pod.
And I was away for a second, but the cutscene room was where the tempered sword was, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Solski is for sure not getting it. He'll get his big key right here.
Not a bit. But I mean, with silvers and master swords, you're fine.
Doing everything possible he can to avoid that cutscene chest.
Well, I hope Solski didn't try to set up the spooky action glitch, because that just ruined it. Using the powder there. Yeah. At least he didn't bother trying to do anything there. Oh, nice. Nice
Kicking this Mario block
kick into explosion. I love it. It was good.
These runners gotta show off somehow. So this should be a much easier fight for Solski with the silver arrows.
And there we go. Solski getting his 7th crystal. You know what that means. It's time for no guessing games.
Yep.
None of them.
Fast Ganon just drops right down to Ganon. And since he was in the Dark World, save and quit, he's right there.
I like Slopepoke's answer with I. It's the imaginary big key. This is an elimination match, isn't it?
It is indeed.
So,
The winner goes on to face Roach 788. The loser is out of the tournament.
Yeah, so it's looking like Fred is gonna bite the dust here, unfortunately. You know, anything could happen, but it's pretty. You know, the game is firmly in Solski's control at the moment.
Using the leg hang just to make sure he doesn't die.
Oh, and he gets the great setup spot for all the spins you can possibly stand. And on to phase 3. No extra teleport there. Ah, there's one. And Solski getting ready to fire some silver arrows. Just going to be the one for this. Going to try to set up that torch glitch. Not quite, but we can still apply some more silver hardware to the face.
I find with silver arrows, runners don't generally set up the torch glitch. They'd rather be able to light the torches so they can position Ganon better.
And there we go. Solski finishing it off. Ganon just needs to walk across the bridge, and we will have his official time. What is likely to be a 135, like what, 42? I didn't get to see it in the
It was
IRC.
42 in RSC.
All right, there we go. Solski takes this match and will advance to the tiebreaker round against Roach 788. So the dream is still alive there for Solski. Now we will see if Solski wants to join us here.
And we're joined by Solski. GG.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Pretty good stuff all around here. You basically did what the seed told you to do. Wasn't much.
Other than pod, sure. that was just lucky. Getting Ice Rod there with that key layout in pod was something special. Like, I broke logic by doing the potion glitch and getting that extra small key, but I don't think I've really had it pay out that well ever for me. Leading especially to guiding me kind of to a TR once I got those Titans at Quakefish, and then the double bow dream.
Yeah,
that was so funny, dude. Like, I was like, the first thing I said to myself is like, man, I just hope there's not a free bow somewhere, and then like the next bow just pops. And yeah, I kept checking in TR2 because like I knew I could have maybe been in go mode, but order of operations I kind of slipped on not checking Mire. So I was like, well, I'm 1/3. That's not really too hot, so let's just keep looking. Could run into sword silvers, and I ran into silvers, which was nice. And then
Nice.
that bombos.
Turns out there was a sword that you could have gotten if you had tolerated the cutscene chest in Mire. But
yeah, I heard
that was never going to happen.
I heard, but I mean, I'm in Pure Go, so I'm just trying to find optimal big key chests. Obviously, if big key was that cutscene, I would have done that, but at that point, it's like, nope, no thanks. Yeah, it was something good. How about those blue cane strats? Kind of saved me a little. That was a pretty rough phase 1. Took some damage I probably shouldn't have, and then phase 2 gave me some really good patterns I can abuse that game with. So it was good. Thank God I just checked that last chest.
I mean, I believe you still had that blue potion as backup if something went horribly wrong. But
I used that. I used that in the fight. Yeah, I used it after, like when I was 5 hearts. And I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't rely too much on lag to save me. So that's when I drank that in phase 2 and tried to get away from the blue game. But then he just gave me a couple more bad patterns. So I was like, all right, I might as well keep on it. But yeah, how about that start too? That was magical.
I mean, not gonna lie, this is the second seed I've commentated today, and both seeds had progression on the pyramid without the Moon Pearl. One of them actually happened to be the Moon Pearl,
Nice.
but that was ridiculous.
I thought that was a rare one. Like, it could have it was intriguing to see like how breaking the back three would have impacted, because you would have netted in early Pearl, but you still would have had to have done Aghanim, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I kind of like how that was completely defended and you couldn't make the play, and I considered it, but I was like, I don't have mirror, I don't want to death warp a second time. I was like, I'll just push through, and maybe back three doesn't have anything. Then it's the Pearl, which was pretty funny, but yeah.
But I mean, you still would have needed to get the mirror just so you could get the glove and all that mess. So yeah.
I just don't think it changes my seed at all. Like you mentioned, I still have to get that glove, and even if I go to pod, I don't remember if I had a bottle in time for that.
I don't believe
think I
so.
did. No.
I think your first bottle was Mothula.
Yeah, so I would have been able to go to pod if I had that pearl, but I don't know if I would have picked up on that ice rod. I'd probably go Dark Maze over the Harmless Hellway chest because I would have had that one key to burn. But still.
Yeah. I think, I mean, counting the keys, I think you would have been actually good on keys. Like 5 were available.
Oh yeah, that's right, because Harmless Hellway had a key as well, and that was a mistake catching that one. I just wasn't really paying attention to my key count. I wasn't doing that in Skull either. I mapped out like items and keys like right as I was about to hit the chest. I'm like, well, this is a waste of time.
Yeah, I was sitting here like, wait, why is Solski doing this? I think this is a small key, and then it's just like, yeah.
I mean, I've said this on my stream before in a couple of post games, but what happens is like you're so involved in reading the race, evaluating where you are, looking at options, that sort of stuff in your head, and you're just like, well, what can I do with this and that? And then it got to that point where it was like I couldn't remember my key count. I was just like, I'm just gonna do it anyways. And then I figured it out, like again, like right as I was at that chest. So that's why that happens for me. It's
so I wasn't able to figure this out. Who won the previous match or the previous race?
I did. So I won.
Okay.
Game 3.
So the map and compass shuffle was your idea then?
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna say it does sound a little like Solski, just saying.
It was fun. You know what? The funny thing is, I never tried it until that race. So
yeah,
I was like, yeah, we haven't tried this. Let's just race this. And then, sure enough, it was like a lot of fun. And then this one was pretty much a hoot as well, right?
Yeah, it has flavors of that that seed type that people call it the ambrosia seed. I mean, you don't get the boots right away, but you are almost guaranteed to have something on the bosses of dungeons, so it's a little more likely you get cool stuff. And you don't have to worry so much about, am I going to go finish it or not?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. And it was a really really interesting race, and you know, we were pretty sure you had it won at one point, but you know, stranger things could happen.
It's a good thing I was nervous for like the last 10 minutes because I had no clue.
Yeah, your opponent actually found the Quake medallion first, but he still had to get he hadn't been into Pod or Turtle Rock at that point.
Yeah.
So
I was, again, that was I think my fear was that Quake was picked up earlier, and then the bow was just in path once you found that ice rod. So like the one thing that was good, and I kept telling myself, was that ice rod was in pod. So like if they found Titans first, that opens like that broke open the seed, right? So I was like so grateful to get Titans right to bow, and I already had ice rod. I think that was the defining moment of the race.
Yeah,
because it just kind of guided me a lot easier to TR, especially Dark World F Mountain still unchecked. That was my thing. I wanted to see medallion in that. Getting in was a bonus. Having the bow was amazing, or bows, and then it was just that Quake medallion. And at that point, just crystals first, and then overworld second, right?
When you did that, or when you made the play to go to pod, I felt kind of dumb because I was sitting there thinking, oh well, you could after Thieves Town go up to Graveyard Ledge and then go to Catfish, and while you're doing that, you can get a potion and then you can go to pod. But you're just like, nah, I'm just gonna go to pod, and I'm like, yeah, that works too, because also, you know, if you ended up having to go to Catfish, you could just save and quit to the pyramid. I didn't even think about that for a bit.
Yeah, you could have done that. Like, there's a couple of cool routing quirks because again, you had Agadon, so there's a couple neat kind of things you can do, especially with fast Ganon, which I had to remind myself while I was at video. I was like, don't mirror. So again, that it's a little risky too because you lose on a little bit of health, but it saves a gross amount of time just getting there faster. It's got to be like at least 35-40 seconds, I would say. So you're just like, yeah, it's definitely worth the health.
All right, so it looks like your opponent is in fact finishing up now. Just has the just got his 7th crystal on the stream. So yeah, once again, well played, Solski, and congratulations on advancing to the next round.
Thanks.
So let me see if I can look. Yeah, so Roach is not the person you faced in round 1, so
no,
it's going to be a completely new opponent this time.
I don't know if I've seen anyone actually get that opportunity yet, so that's kind of cool.
The last race I did, last race I commentated, actually, somebody is going to be facing off against the same opponent in the tiebreaker.
Gotcha.
So, oh,
yeah,
you mean
no, I'm facing off against.
You hadn't seen anyone getting to face against all 3. Okay,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
But it's kind of neat. I mean, I know Roach frequents my channel, learns some stuff from me, unfortunately, but but it'll be a neat match up. Just always playing against a bro, right? So it'll be fun. Best of luck to whoever wins and whoever moves on. You know, if I'm out, I'm out. If I'm in, I'm in. And then I'll just get paired up with like Bonta or Korek or name a good runner. Just get slaughtered in
like
brackets.
Dante again.
Nah, man, that's fine. We actually had some close races too for
Yeah,
what it was, and I think I played soft against them. I think I just play my game against them, and it's gonna be a lot tighter. But he kind of plays a little bit like me, with some educated, like kind of I gotta risk this. So I think I just kind of didn't have the foot on the gas for that one. That was my big mistake. So yeah. I think that's about all I got.
All right. So thank you once again, Solski, for joining us in the booth. And once again, congratulations. Looks like your opponent is just finishing up, so we'll see if we can get him in here. If you'd like to discuss things with him, you're welcome to hang out. But
yeah, I'll stick around
otherwise,
for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Say good game and all that.
All right. All right. Sounds like we are now joined by Freddeh.
Hello.
Congratulations on finishing that race, and well played once again. Finishing with a time of like 148 even, right? Something like that.
147.59 was on my timer.
147.58 in IRC.
58 in IRC, yeah, that's what it was. I usually split it
right.
late, so yeah. No, I mean, I'll agree with you. After the first like half hour or so, I probably should have warmed up more. Those early deaths were killer. I don't think they cost me the race, since it sounds like not going to pod earlier cost me the race, but
yeah, well, I don't know about not going to pod costing you the race, but that giving you that ice rod would have been a little nice to get you up to Turtle Rock and get the bows, but of course you still needed to go to Cold Stare to get the Quake Medallion and all these various things. The biggest time save out of this would
though.
Okay. What was that?
Full clearing mire is takes a while.
The biggest time save out of all of this would have been just skipping Swamp. Just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it was.
I mean, you weren't gonna skip Swamp
wide
with
open
8 items in there. Just like, nah.
Yeah, it's just too much in there. I just had gotten bitten like pretty much this entire bracket over and over again by random things being in stupid spots like Hera basement, left side swamp, or just some random spot that I usually skip in these. So I just decided to play efficient this time, and this time it screwed me this time that way. So that's rando for you sometimes.
Like you do.
That light world run around was sure a friggin' thing.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
Good game, by the way. I just got back.
Yep, good game, man.
So how about Swamp not having anything, by the way? I don't think we talked about that.
Yeah, we just
We were
actually
just talking about that, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Good
We
old
said
Swamp.
the easiest way
believe
to save a bunch of time would just be to skip out on Swamp entirely until you go mode it, but nobody's gonna do that except me, and that's only because I hate Swamp so much.
I mean, with Aga 1 having what it had, it's so hard to rat in Catfish that you're going to do Swamp before Catfish. That's just...
Yeah, that's true.
Like we were talking, like a lot. The big difference was I came at pod from one direction. He came at pod for. That was the difference. Well, some of the difference. Me playing terribly didn't help.
Yeah, basically because you had those mitts, you ended up checking a bunch of stuff that didn't really need to be checked.
Hey, it was just clearing dungeons. I didn't even check much
Yeah.
mitt locations outside of my area.
Right. But yeah, I can't fault either of you for any of the plays you made. They were both very solid, and given a different set of items, could have gone the other way.
Indeed.
So Freddie, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see you again in this tournament, but hopefully we'll see you around for other.
May not see me, but you'll probably hear me.
There is that. Haha. And that'll be good. to Hear from you. Once again, congratulations to both runners on finishing. Anything else you guys would like to say before we wrap it up here?
GG Solski is a fun game, fun match. The first one especially.
Yeah, it was a fun series. The first game, I think it was like 4 or 5 seconds apart.
Yeah, it was really
It
close.
was pretty good. And shout outs to the nasty mirror in this series because
Oh yeah, we had some fun. This is probably one of the worst series of best of 3 seeds I've seen in a while.
yeah.
We had multiple. Our first 2 seeds, both had mirror on the Smith chain, Hera basement with stuff, or Hera with stuff at least, pendant Hera with stuff. What else? I don't even.
Zora had stuff.
Zora had stuff in every one of these seeds. That friggin' Zora sword was required this seed.
It was.
I just laughed when I saw that sword. I'm like, sword.
Yeah, think about this: is Smith, purple chest, Agar required pyramid ledge without pearl. Those were your 3 mirrors. So it was it was not fun to find those. And in 2 of those instances, last location, I think. So
Yep.
it's good.
Almost. I think all 3 for me actually.
The second one, I kind of gamed it.
Yeah,
I told you, I was like, that's
Good,
just
yeah.
ridiculous. I'm going right for it. And sure enough, yeah, it paid off. I think that one, yeah, we talked about that one. That was the Skillwoods Titan mitts. I was like, all right, I know where this is going.
I was like, I can see this one already. I'm going. That was me when I got the flippers and 600 rupees in the mini molder here. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to Zora.
I think I had like 900 rupees by the time I went to Zora.
Yeah, there's a lot of rupees.
Yeah.
I did Zora super early, so that was actually what led me to go to the castle early. Was I got the sword off of Zora, and then it was like EP dip into castle, and I was having a feeling of being like, I had a feeling I was corrected in feeling that the friggin' Moon Pearl will be the back of. Unfortunately,
yeah. Unfortunately, you needed to get that glove.
It was very, very much not the way I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when the glove was found there. it took me about 5 seconds or 10 seconds to realize, wait, what does that unlock? Oh, right.
Yep, that was exactly where I went in the first. I don't even think it opened up anything else, really.
No, it did not. That was it.
I was half expecting boots to show up back there or something.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. In air quotes.
Yeah, very hard air quotes there.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much for showing off the talents here on the ALTTP Randomizer channel. And, of course, it has been a pleasure watching both of you. And good luck to Solski in the next round. And we will see you around next time, Freddie, I'm sure.
Yep.
And pretty similar collection right here, 153 versus 152. So pretty similar. And of course, I want to also thank the rest of the team here behind the scenes. We had Slowpoke, I believe, running the tracker. We had Tiru running the restream, and Iceman as my co-commentator. Thank you so much for helping us out here today and riding along with me.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And it's a funny name, Freddie. It's a funny name.
Funny name. It's a funny name. I was hoping
Funny
someone
name.
would ask me that at some point throughout this tournament. So you're my favorite now, Bob. I mean, you're already my favorite. So I mean, honestly, you're also my favorite.
Who is Tur de Ferguson? Who's that?
It's a funny name. It's a joke from SNL, Saturday Night Live,
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Celebrity
Yeah,
Jeopardy.
it was what? Tom Selleck or something? Not Tom Selleck.
Oh, I get it now. It's
Burt
Tur
Reynolds.
Ferguson.
Burt Reynolds.
Third person.
I was like, same guy. It's a guy with a mustache. And it was Norm Macdonald playing Burt Reynolds.
That's true. It was Norm Macdonald playing Burt Reynolds. That's a fair point. I've missed that or forgot that.
All right, everybody. Once again, thank you all for watching. It has been a pleasure, and I have been Dr. Bobtastic. I'll see you all later. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.